Okay, quick thing before we start the show. Big changes are happening all around us. Are you ready? In my new book, Super Shifts, we uncovered the massive transformations reshaping how we live, work, and think in the age of intelligence. From AI to the future of work, this book is your guide to navigating what's next. Get your copy of Super Shifts today, available wherever books are sold, because the future isn't coming. It's already here. Okay, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Think Forward podcast, where we speak with futurists, innovators, and big thinkers. Come along with your host, Steve Fisher, and explore the future together.
Welcome back to Foundations in Foresight, a Think Forward series. I'm Steve Fisher, and in this episode and today, we're diving into a tool that helps you make sense of all the change happening around you. Because let's be real, trying to keep up with every new technology, social movement, or policy shift can feel like drinking from a fire hose. Luckily, there's a framework that makes it all more manageable. It's called STEEP, and no, it's not a reference to how your morning coffee should be brewed. STEEP is a simple but powerful way to organize the forces shaping the future. It helps us track and categorize social, technological, economic, environmental, and political changes. Whether you're planning a business strategy, looking for investment opportunities, or just trying to avoid getting blindsided by disruption, the STEEP framework is your go-to tool for structured futures thinking. So what is the STEEP framework? STEEP is an acronym that helps us sort the chaos of change into 5 key categories: S for social, T for technological, E for economic, E for environmental, P for political. Each of these areas influences the future in different ways, and when we analyze them together, we start to see patterns, connections, and potential disruptions before they happen. Think of it like a radar system that scans different sectors of society so you don't miss critical shifts. Now let's breaking down STEEP a bit more. First up is social, how people and cultures are changing. Social trends shape how people live, work, and interact. This includes shifting demographics, cultural attitudes, generational changes, and lifestyle behaviors. For example, the rise of remote work wasn't just about technology. It was about changing social attitudes toward flexibility, work-life balance, and the expectations of younger generations entering the workforce. Other social shifts to watch might include declining birth rates, evolving views on privacy, or changing consumer preferences. If your business depends on people's behaviors, understanding social trends is essential. Next is technological, the innovations reshaping the world. This one's obvious, right? Technology changes everything, from how we communicate to how we do business. We're talking about AI, automation, biotech, blockchain, quantum computing. Anything that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible. A great example? Look at how generative AI went from a niche concept to transforming industries practically overnight. If you weren't paying attention to that signal a few years ago, you might be scrambling now to catch up. The key here isn't just tracking new technologies, but understanding how they intersect with social, economic, and political forces. Moving on to economic, the money that drives everything. Money makes the world go round, and economic trends shape industries, markets, and even individual behaviors. This includes things like inflation, labor shortages, global supply chain disruptions, the rise of digital currencies, and shifts in consumer spending habits. For example, subscription-based business models have reshaped everything from software to entertainment to food delivery. Why? Because economic shifts made recurring revenue more attractive to companies, and consumers got comfortable paying for access instead of ownership. Understanding economic forces helps you make smarter financial and business decisions. Next up is environmental, the planet we all live on. Sustainability, climate change, resource scarcity, these aren't just buzzwords. They're forces shaping industries, regulations, and consumer expectations. Businesses that ignore environmental shifts often find themselves playing defense. Think about how companies that dismiss sustainability as a nice-to-have a decade ago are now scrambling to meet consumer demand for eco-friendly products. Whether it's the rise of electric vehicles, corporate commitments to net zero emissions, or innovations in sustainable packaging, environmental trends will continue to impact industries in profound ways. And last but not least is political, the rules and regulations that set the game. Politics isn't just about elections, it's about the laws, regulations, and policies that dictate how industries operate. This includes data privacy laws, trade policies, labor regulations, and geopolitical tensions. For instance, when Europe introduced GDPR, companies worldwide had to rethink their data policies. When the US passed the CHIPS Act, it reshaped the global semiconductor industry. Political shifts can either open new doors or slam them shut, so ignoring them is not an option. So how do you use STEEP in futures thinking? First, start by scanning the landscape for signals in each category. What's changing? What's emerging? What's being talked about in research papers, the media, or investor reports? Next, connect the dots. Trends don't operate in isolation. A technological breakthrough can lead to economic shifts, which in turn can influence social behaviors. The magic happens when you see how these forces interact. Finally, ask, so what? If these trends continue, what might happen next? What risks or opportunities could emerge? How can you prepare? I need to be clear that STEEP isn't about predicting a single future. It's about making sense of the many forces shaping the world. The more you practice using it, the more naturally you'll start spotting patterns that others miss. So here's your challenge. Over the next few days, pick one area of STEEP and start tracking it. Maybe it's social shifts in how people shop, technological changes in AI, or economic shifts in consumer spending. Just start noticing. Write down what stands out. Because the people who see change early aren't lucky, they're just paying attention. And that's it for today's episode of Think Forward Foundations. If you're enjoying the series, go back and check out previous episodes where we lay the groundwork for better future thinking. And stick around, because next time, we're going to talk about systems thinking, why everything is connected, and why understanding that is your secret weapon in navigating the future. Until then, stay curious and always think forward.
Thanks for listening to the Think Forward podcast. You can find us on all the major podcast platforms and at www.thinkforwardshow.com, as well as on YouTube under Think Forward Show. See you next time.
Thanks for listening to the show. Now, about that thing I mentioned earlier about the book Super Shifts. Imagine having a playbook to navigate what's coming next. That's exactly why I wrote Super Shifts, to help you understand and prepare for the seismic changes shaping our world. Don't just react. Get ahead. Super Shifts is available now, wherever you get your books. And if you order today, you'll get exclusive bonus content. Head to supershiftsbook.com and grab your copy now and start future-proofing your life. The future won't wait. Why should you?